What's up, guys? It's Ricardo, junkguysdfw.net, and today I'm going to talk about how Google helped me scale my business and brought my local junk removal business owners, competitors, to work together. So let's kick off this video. Here we go, guys. When I started 12 years ago, and I wanted to scale my business at the time, but I was still a mom and pop truck. I had the van and I had a trailer, and I always thought to myself, I want to grow my business one day, but how could I be able to do that if I can't get the information over to my drivers, So at the time, back in about 2012, 2014, somewhere around there, I was writing down just about everything on a pen and paper book, and it worked for me. It was something like this, I was just writing down everything, and I write my appointments down, and it actually worked for me. It actually did work for me, and it worked for me for a long time. I had this little piece of plastic. It was a bin. It was a little bin. It was like this big, and I would put all my customers' cards, business cards, any of the apartments that I was working with, I just throw it in there, but I put it in the back seat of my truck, and get this, when I'd get one and it was on the dash, I'd grab that card, the business card, and just throw it over my back, that way it'd fall in there. Every customer and every detail of the customer was handwritten. Believe it or not, I had their email, I had their phone number, and it was handwritten, or I'd write it down on a note and I'd throw it in the back seat. But how was I going to scale my business if I was still working like this? And that's when I discovered I was going to have a lot of jobs, plenty of jobs, more employees, and let's try to scale this business. I stopped being from a small white 3500 Dodge van with a 16-foot trailer. Well, at that time it was a 12-foot trailer on the back of the truck, and I learned my lesson from getting a 12-foot trailer, by the way, and I scaled that up. I did write some notes that I wanted to talk about. Okay, several employees, several appointments. How was I going to help my business grow? How could I scale my business into more trucks to be able to hire more employees so I can make more money? That's how I thought. So I started looking online. I started to look online to see how we could communicate more effectively. I noticed these programs online. It was Google Calendar, it was Gmail, it was Google My Business. It was all integrated in a Google workflow application online on the laptop. And I was like, okay. So I guess it was about 2015, I noticed this device. It was a Google phone. It was called a Pixel phone. It came out like 2015, 2014. I said, man, I'm going to learn how to make this work to help scale my business. How can I make Google Workflow, now Google Workflow is one thing, and then Google Calendar, Google My Business, Google Drive, and everything. And I'm going to tell you kind of how that works in a minute. How can I make those applications work for me to benefit my business? Then I ran into the problems. First problem was, how did it work? I had no idea how it worked. I wasn't a big old online guy. I was out hustling. I was trying to make money. How did it work? How can I even set an appointment? How can I make my Google Calendar communicate with my Google Gmail account, with my Google Drive, with my Google My Business, How is that gonna work? How is the whole internet thing? Another conflict that I had was like, how is the internet on my phone? I was kind of getting that basic down, and you always watch YouTube videos on it, you're always doing stuff like that, but you weren't really using the phone at that time. You weren't using it for applications to make your business scale. All right, making Google Calendar work on my phone for your business was a whole different ball game. I was trying to understand that whole thing. Appointments wirelessly over the phone in the cloud, storing somewhere. What's the cloud? When the cloud came out, that even threw me off. The cloud was a more dominant force on to my business than, well, just about to anybody. Oracle, Apple, Google, Microsoft. When the cloud took over, that's when people started going, oh my gosh, you can actually send an appointment from one phone on one app, and that app go to another phone. I mean, text existed, Gmail existed, but not these applications where you could store the information in a cloud and send that cloud over to another person, and was doing instantly using Google Drive. My biggest challenge, and one of the biggest conflicts I ever had in my business, was how to get my appointments, so the appointments that were on my Google Calendar, how to get those appointments over to my employees, over to my drivers, how to send, I could forward emails, that was easy, but how about an appointment on the calendar? How can I send that information over to my drivers, or even write down in the notes, hey, this might be an estimate, here's the price. So setting the price, setting the appointment time, setting the name of the customer was just a mess. I didn't understand that stuff at that time. Now this is, of course, this is early 2012, okay? We are in 2022 right now, so that's 10 years ago. Imagine, I've been in business since 2010, 12 years ago. Imagine what I'm trying to do here. It's not working. Now, I know a lot of people had phones back in the day, but I'm trying to integrate this into a junk removal business. I wasn't even sure what's going to work at the time, right? As I'm doing this, I'm running into just challenges and road barriers online with this Google Pixel phone that I did not even understand. I was good on getting on the internet. I was good at making phone calls, and I was good at not setting appointments, making appointments using my paper. That was great. And I'm not gonna lie, the pen and the paper took me a long way, but it was never going to help me scale my business. Pricing was such a challenge to me. Making these appointments was such a challenge. 12 years later, let's go down the road. 12 years later, as a small business owner, and you're trying to get into this business, and you see all these apps. There's apps everywhere. Apple makes them, Google makes them, Workies makes them. I mean, every kind of company makes these, how to make your workflow work, how to make your appointments work. But there's only one problem with that, and the biggest problem, it costs you money. It is not free. You have to actually work for these applications that are helping you scale your business. It was not something that I understood at the time back in 2010, but now in 2022, every company has some kind of application that will help you automate your business, will send you to the future. Is it really necessary for a small business owner with one truck and one trailer to even own a building app that will help you scale your business when you're still in your truck and trailer? Is that even, as a veteran in this business, I'm going to tell you, all you need is Google Calendar. If you're going to work with appointments and you need something that's just going to help you get established and help you start off. Okay, so this is for the new junk removal entrepreneur. This is for the new business owners. If you have something that works for you, that is excellent. You're working for it. I always recommend, and this is my advice and my tip to the new people starting out businesses in junk removal or landscaping or roofing, Google Calendar is the #1 calendar in the whole United States. It is used more than Apple's calendar, iApp or iCalendar. Android is easily by far the #1 operating system on the phone. Okay? Google Calendar and Google Task are integrated piece of my business. You have to understand, Google My Business integrates all the information from Task over to Google Calendar, and I'm able, so a normal day flow works like this. I'll put it on my Google Calendar. I'll go take pictures of the job site. I'll do the estimate. I'll download those onto my Google Drive using Google Task, and everything's integrated. So whenever I make a post on my Google My Business account to update it, it seamlessly talks to Google Drive, and all the pictures from another estimate are put on there so I can update. Hey, I was just at this house in Dallas, Texas, doing this estimate. Boom, boom, boom. Update it. When the customer calls me, did you see the picture? Of course I saw the picture. They were automatically downloaded from a Google Drive, and I can see them here on my Google Task. So it integrates so easy. Here's the best part about it. It is free. It is absolutely free. I highly recommend the usage of Google Calendar. It is sophisticated software that is taken for granted just because it doesn't cost. And that's weird to me, because there are companies out there, and listen, if you want to pay for software that Google can do, that's up to you. I know Google does not have a payment software. Google does not have a database where it stores all the information for you. Google doesn't have that. I totally understand that. And I know that a lot of people have their information stored in databases. I don't need that. I use Google Calendar as a way to make my business grow. It works for me, and it has always worked for me, and it's a piece of software that honestly pushes my business and helps me scale my business. Now, I want to talk about one other feature that Google Workflow works for me and Google Tasks does, and that is Google Chat. I think Google Chat will be, honestly, in the future, will be a big part of my integration into helping other junk removal companies grow. So right now, how Google Workflow is a great, it's just excellent for us. If y'all don't know, I work with 12 to about 20 junk removal companies that are local in this area. We all communicate with each other. I guess 12 of them are really hardcore. They came to my mini summit in Dallas, and this is great. So we all got together. We entered a Google chat room. So they're all in a Google chat room. Everybody downloaded. While we were there, I made everybody download it, everybody get everybody's information, and I invited everybody into this chat. And how we communicate is incredible. If somebody needs help locally, that's just locally, if someone needs help with an estimate, they send it over really fast and they put the pictures down, and it integrates so fast using the Android phone. It's incredible because everybody takes a picture of it, and one person will take a picture of it. They'll be in Fort Worth, I'll be in Dallas, and the other people will be in Arlington, Frisco, Prosper. It just doesn't matter. And then you'll get a message saying, hey, this guy needs help with this estimate. Can you do this? Can you help me out, give a price estimation? Or if you want to give up a job, you put it there, and then you could charge your 10%. It'll say, hey, I have a house clean out, $300, 10%. In other words, you're going to get paid the 10% from the person who takes the job. And usually there's people jumping at it, and there's some people that just like watching the stuff. Some people don't work or want to work as much. They'll do one job and they're satisfied making $200 in a day. And there's people that want to go and make $800 or $1,000 a day. And I was always going, I want that job. Now, I managed to put more jobs on that Google chat than anybody else does, but that's okay. As it grows, as this Google chat works, we are able to collaborate. I'm able to collaborate with the local businesses, the local junk removal business owners, the entrepreneurs that just started, and be able to work with them and help them build their business. Now, if you're a local junk removal service here in the area and you're not part of the Google chat, contact me below. Direct message me on Facebook, send me an email asking to be a part of it. But don't be a mom and pop, okay? Have an email, have some kind of establishment, some kind of social media. I only allow people to enter the Google chat if you're a legitimate business. If you just have a truck and you're throwing stuff in the back of the truck, I think that's where you're not gonna scale up as fast. You probably don't ever want a website. So what we're doing, what we try to do, we all agreed on this, all the local companies that are on the Google chat, is that we want people that are legitimate business owners and want to scale their business to join us. Now, Google has been an integral part of my business. It has helped me scale my business and grow my business into what it is right now. But Google Workflow with Google Chat on it has been just an incredible application. So guys, if you're using or looking to start a junk removal business, or you're a new entrepreneur and looking for some kind of way for scheduling, Google Calendar is number one to me. It's helped me build my business, scale my business. I don't like to pay for things that are actually free. Can you believe that? And Google Calendar is absolutely free. All the features of Google Drive that makes my Google My Business account work is incredible. So I know a lot of people are out there going, hey, well, I don't need Google Calendar. It doesn't help me do anything. But I'll tell you something, what you do need is you need to be ranked on Google, and you need Google Drive, and you need Google My Business to make it work. I'm going to tell you, the more products that I use of Google, for some reason, Google likes that and says, this guy is using Google applications, make him rank higher. And I swear, the more that I use Google products, the higher I rank. So if that's not a tip or a trick, I don't know what is. But if you want to use some other application to make your calendars and make your appointments and make all your processing, that's totally up to you. I mean, there is a thing called Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal. You can use those too. Hey guys, well, I hope y'all appreciate and like this video. Don't forget again, February the 10th is the first webinar that I will be having. It is a private group Facebook webinar. If you want to be part of that, where I will be teaching entrepreneurs the ups and downs of this business, giving tips and tricks to new business owners trying to start a junk removal business or already have a junk removal business. So imagine getting just one idea from the webinar and taking that idea and making $5,000 throughout the year with that one idea. Is it worth it to you? Well, I don't know. But I will tell you something. My webinar, my private group webinar, is free, okay? It is absolutely free. So be a part of that. Go ahead and direct message me on Facebook or send me an email. The information is at junkguysdfw@gmail.com. And if you're looking for me, well, every one of my videos has my information underneath it. So just look down there, guys. Don't forget, guys, if you like these videos, subscribe to the right side. On the left side, check out my other videos. And I appreciate everybody staying tuned. Don't forget the webinar on February the 10th. Bye-bye, guys.
You'll be living your good life.